Psalm 17. Hear a just cause, O Lord. Attend to my cry. Give ear to my prayer from lips free of deceit. From your presence let my vindication come. Let your eyes behold the right. You have tried my heart. You have visited me by night. You have tested me, and you will find nothing. I have purposed that my mouth will not transgress. With regard to the works of man, by the words of your lips, the word of your lips, I have avoided the ways of the violent. My steps have held fast to your paths. My feet have not slipped. I call upon you, for you will answer me, O God. Incline your ear to me. Hear my words. Wondrously, you show your steadfast love. O Savior of those who seek refuge from their adversaries at your hand. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. From the wicked who do me violence, my deadly enemies who surround me. They close their hearts to pity. With their mouths they speak arrogantly. They have now surrounded our steps. They set their eyes to cast us to the ground. He is like a lion eager to tear, as a young lion lurking in ambush. Arise, O Lord, confront him, subdue him. Deliver my soul from the wicked by your sword, from men by your hand, O Lord, from men of the world whose portion is in this life. You fill their womb with treasure. They are satisfied with children, and they leave their abundance to their infants. As for me, I shall behold your face in righteousness. When I awake, I shall be satisfied with your likeness. Psalm 17 is a great thing to be able to say to God, because what it says is, I am righteous before you, and you are hearing the request of somebody that you approve of. Now, it seems like a gutsy thing to say, like, verses 1 and 2, verse 3 especially, you have tried my heart, you have visited me by night, you have tested me, and you will find nothing. Not many of us would venture to say that, right? We're very familiar with Romans 5 and rehashing that part of the gospel, which is like, man, naturally, I'm an enemy of Christ. I'm a combatant against God. Romans 7, I don't do the things I want to do. I do the things I don't want to do. What do I do? This struggle with sin is such a daily, such a regular experience for us, that for us to be able to say, God, you can search me all you want. You're not going to find any impurity. That's an incredible thing to be able to say. What a gift if we could say that with integrity, right? What David is saying here is applying to a specific situation with these specific enemies. So he's not claiming to be a sinless man. He's just kind of zeroing in on the problems in front of him and the battles that he has to fight. And he's saying, look, in these battles, I haven't done anything wrong. I can look in the mirror and say, I was actually right in these ones. And so, therefore, my enemies are actually your enemies, God, because like 2 Corinthians 5 says, I am just an ambassador for Christ. So when they come against me, they're coming against you. I'm not an enemy of you. I have been made righteous. I've been justified, and my actions show that to be the case in this situation. So he asks for deliverance in this wonderful poetry. He asks for God to step in and do all kinds of stuff. He asks for protection with this beautiful phrase that we should all be familiar with in verse 8. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Isn't that a great image there? And then at the end, he says, he's talking about the enemies, and he says, you fill their womb with treasure. Or some translations will say, you fill their belly with treasure. They are satisfied with children, and they leave their abundance to their infants. Basically, what he's saying here is, even the bad guys get your blessings, right? It's like the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike, and the food grows, and even the enemies of God get to eat from God's creation. Even the enemies of God get the blessings of families and children, and they leave an inheritance to their children. That's a good thing. But that's where it stops, right? Look at verse 15, the last one. As for me, I shall behold your face in righteousness. When I awake, I shall be satisfied with your likeness. Meaning, once I die, once my eyes close, I fall asleep metaphorically. When I awake, we're talking about resurrection here, then I'm going to see you. My enemies won't. Their benefits, their blessings are all here and now. My blessings get to go on forever because I have a relationship with an eternal God. It's been said many times, you may have heard me say it, that for the unbeliever, this world is the closest they're ever going to get to heaven. There are good things here, but this isn't heaven, right? This is the closest they're going to get But for the believer, this world is the closest thing we're ever going to get to hell. And there are some terrible things here, but they're all temporary, right? Because when we awake, we will behold his face. So this week, as you engage the workplace, as you engage family, and so on, we ought to be dedicating our minds to acting in such a way that if anybody opposes us, they would actually be opposing the work and the words of God, because that's what we're bringing into the scenario. Okay? We are ambassadors, we are representatives of Christ, and if we have enemies, we need to make sure that their quarrel is not with us, but with the God whom we are accurately representing. And so this is just something worth praying about. God, make me an accurate speaker for you today. I am your hands and feet. I am your mouthpiece today, and I want to make sure that that the picture that I'm putting across, that the image of God that I'm displaying and radiating today is an accurate one. Make me able to do that, to be righteous in that way. All right, guys, we'll see you next week for Psalm 18.